Yeah,
That's
okay.
it.
That's the end of the work. Yeah, I think that's very good, actually. I think you're right.
So very, very true.
Yeah.
So, hi again, guys.
Hello.
We met yesterday. So Jonathan Bloomberg from Movie Scene in Sweden. Your two characters on the show are my favorite power couple, for sure. But there are some strange to the relationship starting this season. Can you talk a bit about how it was shooting those scenes together?
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, I was quite sad this season in some ways because we didn't have, oddly enough, we didn't have as much time together as we'd had in season one.
Yeah.
And that was partly because of the nature of the shooting. That in season one there were so many scenes where the whole cast were all together a lot, and certainly I just felt like we had had a lot of time together.
Yes.
Being able to just talk and be with each other, and then oddly I think the characters' experience this season very much reflected also my own experience as an actor.
Method acting.
You kind of unintentionally, because we were just. I felt a lot more isolated, and I felt like Renice actually felt a lot more isolated too. I felt like we were very much a pair last season, and in this that pairing, it comes under threat, and I think she started to feel really, really, really alone. And I felt that a bit as well on set. I was like, "Where's Steve?"
Yeah. Well, yes, it was interesting because that. Yeah, I mean, I'm literally just going to say what you said, but in a different way. I'm saying the same thing because season one, it was a constant, even in the big scenes. Either we were standing near each other or we were within eye line of each other, so you could have that communication. Yeah. But of course, when it's not, the person isn't there at all. It's a different thing. So you do kind of, well, I did sort of go, oh, I mean, can't I have Eve here? And then, of course, when we came together to do scenes, of course, it was a joy to work with Eve, as it always is. But of course, the scenes we're playing now have this sort of darker undercurrent because this wonderful unit is under threat. So it was a very interesting exercise as an actor to try and navigate that. It was it was good. It was a good challenge.
Yeah, and your character also have on the first season he is this big hero almost to everyone, but he feels when we start this season like he himself feel defeated almost, his spirit.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go as far as defeated, but diminished definitely. Do you know what I mean? Definitely vulnerable, more so. Well, certainly more so than we've seen him, and I made the decision that more so than he's been in his life. And I think, because I think normally with him, where he might have got hurt, he could rely on 100% rock solid support from his wife. In this case, not that she's stopped supporting him, but the fact is there are other things taking her attention. There are other things that he has done in the past that are now putting this thing under threat. And of course, we're all preparing for war. So that thing where you could, I guess, go back to your little castle and sit there and recover, he doesn't have that option now because war is imminent. Yeah. And he also, being the kind of man he is, he wants to get back out there and do this thing. Yeah. I have a feeling actually, and it's probably going back into gender stereotypes, I have a thing that Corliss can't multitask.
Nah, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it before because I think if all he had to deal with was just getting the ship together, getting himself fixed, and go back to war, he'd be great. Yeah. But he's got to do that, but also he's got to nurture this and try and save this thing.
Yeah. Hopeless.
And he doesn't know how to do it anyway because normally, like a lot of men, he's just like, I bought you this. I know you're upset about that thing that I did, but look, this is shiny, and that's not going to do it this time. So he's being forced to grow up.
I'm just so fascinated by this every time this comes up because to me it's like he's in such denial going on that not even aware that there's an issue. That's what it feels like from this perspective.
I think
I'm always amazed to hear that there is an awareness.
There is an awareness, but I think it's kind of like some men, and maybe some women too, but some men certainly would think that saying to your lady who is a bit insecure about the relationship, saying to her, well, I'm here, aren't I? They sometimes think that's enough. Like,
So I feel like that's Paulus's.
I think that, I think, because I have friends that are like that, just like, or were like that, we're like, look, I can be with anybody, but I'm with you, so relax. And it's like, no, that's not really enough. And I think Corliss is having to learn that lesson. Because I think it's, in the happier days, it's clear how much he loves her, and it's clear that he cherishes her. Yeah. But in the moments but she's always been this strong, solid, for him, strong thing. And now she is wavering, not reconsidering, but I don't know, whatever, it's going through something.
Or reconsidering, but something's come up that needs to be addressed.
Yes.
And it's not being addressed.
And just sort of going, here's a bauble, isn't going to do it.
This is not my quote, but I've heard someone else say that marriage for men sometimes feel like the finish line, but it should be the start.
Right,
Absolutely right.
I think you're right.
It's like, we've made it, we've done it for you, now that's it.
That's the end of the work. Yeah, I think that's very good, actually. I think you're right.
So very, very true.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for taking your time
to
meet again, and best of luck with the premiere.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
I like that.